I would like to call the Monday, April 22nd, 2024 Blue Springs Planning Commission meeting to order. Please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Could I have a roll call, please?
Commissioner Morton? Commissioner Howe?
Here.
Commissioner Stokenberry?
Present.
Commissioner Smith?
Present.
Commissioner Sanderson?
Present.
Commissioner Henning? Commissioner Graham?
Present.
Commissioner Rohr?
Present.
Chairperson Craddock?
Present. Thank you and welcome everyone this evening and those watching from home. Tonight's agenda consists of item 1A, the minutes from the March 25th, 2024 Planning Commission meeting. Items 2, conditional use permit for Power Clean Carpet Cleaning. Items 3, conditional use permit for Kansas City Cannabis Company. Items 4, master or alternative sign plan for Shrout Farm PUD lots 6A and 6B. Item 5, preliminary plat for Hoot Owl Meadows. Item 6, other business. And item 7, adjournment. I will open the public hearing for agenda item 2, conditional use permit CUP. I'm sorry. At this time, I would entertain a motion on the consent agenda for the approval of the March 25th, 2024 meeting. Minutes.
So moved.
I have a motion from Commissioner Graham. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second from Commissioner Stokenberry. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. I will now open the public hearing for agenda item 2, conditional use permit CUP-02-24-9058 for Power Clean Carpet Cleaning. I will ask for exhibits from our city attorney, John Mullane.
Staff admits exhibits 1 through 8 as shown on item number 2 on the agenda.
Thank you. All those who wish to speak, please stand to be sworn in, and that includes the staff, the applicant, and the public.
I do.
At this time, we'll ask for staff's presentation. Mr. McCumber.
Good evening. Before you is a conditional use permit request with alternative development standards for 945 Northwest Vesper Street. The applicant, Dan Bates, has made a request to operate his business, Power Clean Carpet Cleaning, from this location. Power Clean Carpet Cleaning falls under the building or construction contractor land use category of the Unified Development Code. The property in question is zoned GB, General Business. In the GB district, the building or construction contractor is a conditionally permitted land use. Furthermore, the UDC special use standards provides additional regulations for this land use, which largely focuses around outdoor storage, parking of company vehicles, and the location of overhead doors. The applicant has indicated that he'll be able to meet each of the special use standards. The applicant has requested 4 modifications, which include non-residential building type standards for small commercial building types, per section 405.030, a deviation from the building type standards to allow a larger frontage width of 116 feet beyond what is allowed currently at 100 feet. Per 405.030, deviation from the building type standards to allow less transparency than what is required, which is 50 to 80% at the street level of the facade. The third item is 405.030, deviation from the building type standards to allow more than 20 or linear feet of blank facades, that's along 10th Street, without transparency, entrances, or architectural ornamentation. And the final one is from the parking area design table, that's section 407.010-4, a deviation from the parking area design table to allow the reduced drive aisle and parking stall dimensions. The proposed aisle is 20 feet wide and the parking stalls are 9 feet by 14 feet. These modifications are largely due to the fact the property was developed nearly 30 years ago and many of the elements on the site are considered non-conforming. Significant investment in the property would be required to bring it into full compliance with the UDC. If further site development is proposed in the future, compliance with the UDC will be required. Staff recommends approval of the conditional use permit with conditions. With that, I'll open it up for questions.
Thank you. Does the commission have any questions for staff? Would the applicant like to come forward and speak? Have you been sworn in? Have you been sworn in?
Yes.
Please state your name and address for the record.
Business address or personal address?
Your address where you live here, Which Springs.
Dan Bates, 18906 East 12th Terrace South, Independence, Missouri.
Thank you. What would you like to share with us today?
Well, I told Dave, what we are is a carpet company. I have 2 or 3 office girls who work part-time in the office, just invoicing, billing out, and doing scheduling. Sorry. All my technicians take their trucks home at night. They just report to the shop in the morning to drop off their current day's work orders, pick up their new schedules and routes, then they leave for the day. So that's the only traffic you'll see in the morning. It'll be between 8 and 9 o'clock. Then that traffic's gone. Then my office girls don't get there between 9 and 10. They're gone by 2 o'clock. And everybody's out there by 2 to 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So that's pretty much all. I just want to tell you a little bit about our business.
Well, we appreciate that. Does this commission have any questions that they'd like to ask the applicant? Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak in favor for this project? Is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak in opposition of this project? The public comment section of the public hearing is over. Any further discussion from the staff?
No, sir.
Any further discussion from the applicant?
No, sir.
Any further discussion from the commission? I will close the public hearing. I will now ask for a motion on the conditional use permit.
Chair,
I have a motion from Commissioner Rohr.
I make a motion for the conditional use permit CUP 02-249058, power cleaning carpet cleaning at 945 Northwest Vespa Street.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second from Commissioner Smith. This will be a roll call.
Commissioner Rohr?
Aye.
Commissioner Graham?
Aye.
Commissioner Sanderson?
Aye.
Commissioner Smith?
Aye.
Commissioner Stokenberry?
Aye.
Commissioner Howell?
Aye.
Chairperson Craddock?
Aye. This motion carried with 2 staff conditions. This item will be recommended and heard by the City Council at their Monday, May 6, 2024 meeting at 6 p.m. I will now open the public hearing for Agenda Item 3, Conditional Use Permit CUP-02-24-9059 for Kansas City Cannabis Company. I will now ask for the exhibits from our City Attorney, John Millen.
Staff admits exhibits 1 through 8 as shown under item 3 on the agenda.
Thank you. All those who wish to speak, please stand to be sworn in. This includes the staff, the applicant, and the public.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do. At this time, I will ask for the staff's presentation. Dave McCumber.
All right, well, good evening again. Before you this evening is a conditional use permit request for Kansas City Cannabis Company located at 1117 North Highway 7. The applicant, Dan Nelson, has made a request to operate his business beyond the hours of operation allowed by the special use standards of the UDC for marijuana dispensaries. The property in question is Zone GB General Business. Furthermore, the UDC special use standards provides additional regulations for this land use, which in this case of this application involves specifically section 405.050 A34E, marijuana dispensary hours of operation. The UDC allows for dispensaries to operate between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. The applicant is making 2 requests. The first is to allow the dispensary's lobby to stay open an additional 2 hours daily by closing at 10 p.m. The second request is to allow the dispensary's drive-thru to operate for up to 24 hours daily. The property went through a site plan design review in December of 2023 when the Kansas City Cannabis Company made improvements to the interior and exterior of the building and site. One of the improvements was the addition of the drive-through lane, which was approved for the building's south facade facing I-70. Given that the application meets the conditional use permit review criteria, staff recommends approval with conditions.
Thank you. Are there any questions from the commission for staff? I'd like to know, most of the dispensaries here close at what time here in Blue Springs on the average?
According to the city's UDC, it's required that they close by 8 p.m. in the evening for those that are in existence today.
Okay, thank you. Would the applicant like to come forward and speak?
Good evening, Commission. My name's Dan Nelson. I'm the CEO for Kansas City Cannabis. I'm a Green Valley resident. My address is 32906 East Truman Road, Green Valley, Missouri. So yeah, I was born here, raised here, all that fun stuff. So the integrity of the town is really what I keep in my heart. So a lot of our industry peers across the metro do close around 10 o'clock. So our narrative initially is to close at 9, allowing some of that flexibility to go to 10 o'clock just for the lobby specific. The drive-through, we propose a pilot program to start with a Friday and Saturday night, maybe go to midnight, push those hours as traffic may increase, and then communicate back to the city and the police department to make sure that there hasn't been any incidences or any or more concerns raised since being close to I-70. As you can see from the picture, we did windowless, so we're unique. We're the first dispensary in the metro to do a windowless drive-through. We're seeing about 70 people a day right now since we soft opened in the beginning of April. Dave, can you scroll down, please? So this is an interior view of our drive-through. So we have these 4 cameras that are recorded in high def at all times. We also have 8 other cameras that point traffic coming in and out of the drive-through. If you scroll a little bit further, just a little bit more, just the green, there you go, oh, sorry. So the 2 green circles denote how our vault is set up and how our drive-through is set up. During the day, the green circle would be where the normal drive-through operator would stay. In the evening, if we go for a 24-hour pilot program, they would remain in the vault, which the next station above on that picture there shows a drive-through station within the vault. So all they would be required is to walk up, put the package in the closed drawer, put it out, but then they would go back into a second layered protected area in the vault. So, and then if you scroll down or scroll up, if you go up there, David, to the hours and dispensaries, and I believe everybody has this in their hands, but I've listed what everybody in the metro, what their normal operating hours are, also 2 locations of who has drive-throughs in the metro. It also too would be a great tax incentive for the city. Any questions, please?
Are there any questions for the applicant from the commission? I have several questions. Could you elaborate a little further on why you want the dispensary to stay open until 10 o'clock? I'm not quite clear on that.
Yeah, so if you notice across the metro, my industry peers also stay, so it's also, we're a capitalistic market, so if I close at 8 o'clock, they're just gonna go down the street in Independence, Nolan Road, there's a dispensary located. Some of our other peers choose to push the limits and they stay open till 9. So I'm also trying to compete with other industry members.
Is there any data on there about any issues that have occurred in the cities because of them staying open late, like with public safety or anything like that? Do you have any opinions from them?
Yeah, so we're part of a trade organization in the state that networks with every operator. And there has been 3 incidences, not with the drive-through specific, but as the program's since inception of medical. There has been 1 in St. Louis, 1 from the Earth is a dispensary on Troost, and there's 1 more that was actually an incident, it was an accidental drive-through thing with the person just lost control of their car and in a Springfield dispensary. Nobody's been hurt. Everything has been after hours or closed hours. We're the only dispensary in town that has armed guards on staff.
Okay, thank you very much.
Chair.
Commissioner Rohr.
So, how do you check their ID, since they're only in the vault and you have no window? How's that checked?
So before any transaction, we have to verify that they're 21 or older. We have a ID scanner that is also connected with the state, so it verifies instantly if that's a valid driver's license and if they are current, it's not expired.
So you list 10 that open, like stay open until 8 or 10 or something like that. One is of course 24-hour drive-through. What is the purpose? I mean, I know what your purpose is for the drive-through. I understand that.
Mhm.
But why do we need a 24-hour drive-through for people out at 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning? I mean, we all know what happens around 3 o'clock in the morning. I guess I have a real hard time understanding why we would want to
Yeah, for
put
sure.
more pressure on our police officers, which are probably already stretched, and then the people that are gonna purchase this stuff at 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. I mean, it just, I do not understand that at all.
Yeah, understand. So we're on I-70, so we're also too, we're a major artery for the nation. So there's an opportunity for us to, people stop at the Quick Trip right there for 24 hours. We're also too a blue collar community. So a lot of industry folks get off from restaurants at 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. And then also too, with access, we also too deviate what's happening in the streets. So if somebody needs something to get from a dealer in the alleys or whatnot, we actually provide a safe opportunity to purchase legal marijuana other than other alternative options.
And all that traffic coming off I-70, of course, that's definitely gonna benefit you guys, no question about that. And all the hotels that are right west of there, it's probably gonna benefit you guys a lot, so. Yeah, I'll be honest with you, I don't understand why we need to have something open, 24 hours a day to buy the marijuana, stuff like that. But
Yeah, and that's also too why I'm here for suggestions, even for something later, or even maybe not even a 24. That's why I suggest in my narrative a pilot program.
I mean, 10 o'clock is probably the limit to a certain extent, and even that's getting pretty late. But then open it up for 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning is very hard for me to, and other people to understand. That's all I have, Chair. Thank you.
How many liquor stores are in the community? When do alcohol sales cut off? It's like a 1 to 60 ratio for alcohol issues than there are marijuana.
That's great.
Good.
Any other questions from the commission?
Just one for staff. How many dispensaries do we have in town currently?
We have currently 2 licensed.
We only have 2 that are
Counting
available.
this one, or this would make 3?
No, this is a move. This location moved. They were up at
For the
Burdette,
location, okay.
and not Burdette Park. What is it? Burdette Crossing, and then they moved to this location. So there's still only 2 that the city's been given that have been licensed by
Okay.
the state.
And the other one's never made a request for extended hours?
Not yet.
Okay.
When we wrote the legislation, we picked 8 to 8, I think, or 10 to 8, which was kind of what was being done across the metro at the time. I think other cities have changed their rules since that time. And we based those hours when there was medical marijuana, and the thought was that those would operate in many ways like a pharmacy, and we looked at hours of operation of pharmacies and other municipalities and their hours of operation. And since that time, I think the whole industry has changed a little bit. I think staff has seen that, those patrons that are frequenting a medical marijuana dispensary are no different than those that are frequenting, not even medical marijuana, recreational marijuana, that are no different than are frequenting liquor house down here on South 7, or some of the more high-end liquor stores or Quick Trips or any other place where you can buy alcohol or things of that nature until the state legally, with the state hours, which I believe are 6 to 2 a.m., 6 a.m. to 2 a.m. So we were a little conservative when we wrote those, and we figured if somebody wanted to change them down the road, then they would come back before and ask to change them. And so that's where we are today.
All right, thank you.
Would that open the door for the other dispensaries? Would this set a precedent if we did allow this to go forward? If they came forward, would they ask for permits? Would we allow that to go forward? Or how would
They
that-
certainly could. The other one in town could certainly come forward and ask for a conditional use permit to change their hours of operation. The thing with the conditional use permit is that the requests are heard on the individual properties themselves, and there may be characteristics of this property and this location at I-70 and 7 Highway, right off the interchange, that make that property more suitable for a 24-hour operation or expanded business hours than, say, a different location that is maybe more adjacent to residential properties or at least traffic in a different part of town, or maybe not. So when staff reviews conditional use permits, we do look at them on the individual request for that property, but also recognize that it could lead to somebody else asking for it down the road, but that's just one of the criteria that we look at.
Okay. Any other questions? Thank you very, would you like to say something else?
Yep,
Yeah.
I would like to add one note. In Grandview, there is a 24-hour drive-through that has seen 0 incidents since it started. And also Joplin has a 24-hour dispensary in front of the largest Walmart in Missouri that runs 24-hour. Their lobby opens and operates with 1 employee with a card reader trapdoor system. So a person's approved before they can even come to the lobby. So there are other practices that are successful in Missouri.
Okay, thank you for sharing that with us. Thank you very much. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak in favor of the project? Is there anybody in the audience that would like to speak in opposition of the project? The public comment section of the public hearing is over. Any further discussion from the staff?
No, sir.
Any further discussion from the applicant?
No, sir.
Any further discussion from the commission? I will close the public hearing. I will now ask for a motion on the conditional use permit.
Sure.
I have a motion from Commissioner Henry.
I move to approve conditional use permit CUP 02249059 Kansas City Cannabis at 1117 Northwest 7 Highway.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
A second.
I have a second from Commissioner Smith. This will be a roll call.
Commissioner Graham?
No.
Commissioner Sanderson?
No.
Commissioner Smith?
Aye.
Commissioner Stokenberry?
Aye.
Commissioner Howe?
Aye.
Commissioner Rohr?
Nay.
Chairperson Craddock?
Aye. This motion passed with 3 staff conditions. This item will be recommended and heard by the City Council at their Monday, May 6, 2024 meeting at 6 p.m. The next item on the agenda is item 4, Master Alternative Sign Plan ASP-03-24-9068 for Shrout Farm PUD lots 6A and 6B. At this time, I will ask for staff's presentation. Ms. Wright.
The next item on the agenda this evening is a request for a master sign plan for the installation of off-premises signs related to the drive-through business at 3101 Southwest 7 Highway to be installed on the property located at 3107 Southwest 7 Highway. The properties are zoned General Business Planned Unit Development Restricted Overlay. The proposal includes the installation of a vehicle entrance / directional signs, a clearance bar, and a pre-menu board for the property located at 3101 Southwest 7 Highway, which is the property on the north. The sign code does not allow for any off-premises signage, which is the first modification being requested tonight for all 4 signs. The 2 proposed vehicle entrance signs will meet all sign code criteria except for the location standards and the setback requirements. The sign code allows 1 vehicle entrance sign per vehicle driveway as long as it is located within 25 feet of public right-of-way. The plan includes 2 signs, one at the southern vehicle driveway off Southwest Demars Way, which is a private street, and one at the drive-through entrance internally within the site. Neither sign complies with the maximum 25-foot setback from public right-of-way due to Southwest Demars Way being a private street and the sign's intent to guide traffic internally. The proposed pre-menu board complies with all sign code requirements except for the location standards. With the addition of the proposed signs, the business located at 3101 Southwest 7 Highway will have approximately 166 square feet of signage total. The only thing Planning Commission will be voting on tonight are the off-premises signs, since all other signs have been previously approved with an administrative sign permit. The proposed signs are all within the size requirements allowed for the applicable sign type, and the only deviations include the signs being off-site and exceeding the maximum setback allowed by the sign code. Staff supports the request since the signs are intended to benefit the users of the site and provide better direction. Also, the signs will not be legible from the public right-of-way and should not contribute to visual clutter along Southwest 7 Highway. Lastly, the properties are being developed simultaneously as one development, so the signs will not appear to be off-premise or out of place. Therefore, staff feels as though the request is warranted and justified, and staff recommends approval of the master sign plan with 2 conditions, and I'm here for any questions.
Thank you. Are there any questions from the commission for the staff? Would the applicant like to come forward and speak? Please state your name and address for the record.
Good evening. John Davis. Address is 2089 Red Oak Lane in Liberty, Missouri. Thank you very much for your consideration. Really nothing to add to staff's presentation. We have a Starbucks and a dental office that are being developed, nearing actually completion as we speak. And these signs, as you can see, the site was really designed to provide a little additional stacking for Starbucks, so wrapping the site made sense, and meandering property lines didn't and probably wouldn't have complied with your city codes. So we own and control both properties, and everything is handled as far as the private property owner relationship, so we appreciate your support this evening.
Thank you. Are there any questions for the applicant from the commission? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Any further discussion from the commissioners? I will now ask for a motion on the master alternative sign plan.
Chair.
I have a motion from Commissioner Sanderson.
Yeah, I'll move to approve Master Alternative Sign Plan ASP 03249068 Trout Farm PUD lots 6A and 6B with the 2 staff conditions.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second from Commissioner Stokenberry. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries with 2 staff conditions. The next item on the agenda is agenda items 5, preliminary plat PP-10-23-8941 for Hoot Owl Meadows. At this time, I will ask for the staff's presentation from Ms. Bright.
The staff report covering the Hoot Owl Meadows rezoning, general development plan, and preliminary plat was provided for the February 26th, 2024 Planning Commission meeting and the March 4th, 2024 City Council meeting, and will not be updated to reflect the proposed revisions. The memo included in the packet will be the new kind of amendment for the revised plan that we're seeing tonight. So the Planning Commission had voted to approve the preliminary plat for Hoot Owl Meadows with these 7 staff conditions outlined in the staff report. However, at the March 4th, 2024 City Council meeting, the public hearing was held, public testimony was received, and the public hearing was closed with the vote being continued due to additional clarification requested by the council. Prior to the April 1st, 2024 City Council meeting, the applicant provided a revised preliminary plat and general development plan. The rezoning and general development plan were approved by the City Council on April 1st, 2024, and since the lot sizes and tracts were revised after the Planning Commission approved the preliminary plat, staff is providing a new memo with updated conditions and the updated plans for you guys to review. So the changes include modifying lot sizes so that all lots now comply with the 100-foot minimum frontage width requirement per the detached house large lot building type standards. The adjustment also eliminated the alternative development standard request for lots to exceed the maximum frontage width, as all lots are now within the 100 feet to 150 feet requirement, with 80 feet on cul-de-sac lots. The plan is still proposing 231 single-family lots with a density of 1.73 dwelling units per acre. The average lot size remains at 0.38 acres or 16,495 square feet. In the plan, the lot numbers and tract letters have changed. A playground was added, an additional detention tract was added, and sidewalk access to the trail has been adjusted. The additional detention tract was necessitated by the decrease in size for tract J so that the adjacent lots could meet the frontage width requirement. An updated tract table has been added to the plan for reference, and the total open space is now at 28.37 acres, which is 21.2% of the total site. Staff recommends the preliminary plat with 7 conditions as updated in the memo provided to you all. And I'm here for any questions.
Thank you. Are there any questions for the staff from the commission? Would the applicant like to come forward and speak?
The applicant's not here tonight.
Okay.
This was more of a formality to have the preliminary plat be reflective to match the general development plan that City Council approved.
Okay. In that case, is there any further discussion from the commissioners? I will then ask for a motion on the preliminary plat.
Chair?
I have a motion from Commissioner Graham.
Move to approve preliminary plat PP-10-23-8941 for Hoot Owl Meadows with the 7 staff conditions.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
I have a second from Commissioner Stokenberry. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carried with 7 staff conditions. Other business. At this time, Mr. Mallon will present on March 2024's Community Development Monthly Report.
Thank you, Chair. The Community Development Monthly Report for March of 2024. Hold on one second. There, we're getting up here. So, nope, that's not it. So, building permits overall ticked up a little bit in March of this year versus compared to March of last year. Year to date, we are at the same level we were last year in overall permits, but it's good to see some single-family homes permits issued. Year to date, we are at 29, so we are still having a down year in terms of that metric. Construction costs and square footage. March of 24 was quite a bit larger than March of 23. 200,000 square feet versus 22,000 square feet last year, and a valuation of 4.3 million versus 1.5 million. Our total number of inspections did go down year to year, and year to date our number of inspections has decreased as well, but our overall building square footage and construction costs is considerably higher than it was this time last year. Graph of single family building permits comparing last year to this year. Code cases, predominantly the public health, safety, welfare code cases. We had 114 code cases opened in March, which was on par with last year. Overall, this year seems to be down, but then again, we had a pretty dry January and February. March, we've seen quite a bit of rain. So if April continues along the path that it has with some of the weather we've had, and I'm sure you've all seen the grass and the dandelions out, I would guess our code cases will go up for the month of April. Again, nuisance inspections, trash, driveway maintenance. Planning case activities, these 3 projects were brought before the Planning Commission in March. Hudson Estates, the preliminary plat, the Adams Ridge, and Timothy Lutheran. Timothy Lutheran obviously was approved by the Planning Commission, as was Hudson Estates preliminary plat. The City Council did end up approving Hudson Estates, the rezoning, or no, the general development plan. Adams Ridge, which was the development on the west side of Adams Ferry Parkway, has been continued at the request of the applicant until May 20th. So City Council has yet to make a final determination on that project. Sign permit activity, total number of signs permitted this year is down quite a bit from last year, and overall from 2020 year to date through 2024 is down from 2023. So we're starting to see an uptick in single family building permits. We have strong construction valuation and square footage. Inspections seem to be down, which may be indicative of that we've issued a lot of permits, and they just, in the first 3 months, they just haven't called for that first inspection yet. So as those permits that have been issued over the first 3 months start to request those inspections, I would anticipate our inspection numbers to go back up. So any questions? Okay.
Thank you. Does the staff have any other business?
We do not.
Does the commission have any other business? Mr. Mallon, I'd like to know, have you had an opportunity to consider, you mentioned in the past about having meetings. We didn't have a large agenda where we could have discussions about how we could make some improvements during our sessions or our meetings.
Yes, absolutely. I have brought that up and actually had one of those scheduled for April 8th tentatively, but was given direction to hold off on doing those until our new mayor, Mayor Levisay, has had a chance to make the various appointments he has to fill open seats on all the different boards and commissions, should any of those affect the Planning Commission, and then to schedule one of those trainings and or some future discussion items down the road. So once all of those commission appointments are made, that is something we'll be looking to do with all of our boards and commissions. I do know that the mayor has stated he would like to attend at least one of the meetings for all of the boards and commissions over the upcoming weeks and months. And so I wouldn't be surprised if Mayor Levisay joins us for a Planning Commission meeting here shortly. Although she couldn't be here this evening, Councilmember Susan Culpepper was voted as Mayor Pro Tem. And so as such, that has typically been the Planning Commission liaison from City Council. Whether that continues or not, I believe it will, but I'm not 100% sure, so I don't want to state that. But I believe Mayor Pro Tem Culpepper would be joining us for the remainder of this year.
Okay. Thank you very much. If there is no other business, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
I have a motion from Commissioner Stokenberry. Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? This meeting is adjourned. Good night.